Well, hello YouTube. How you guys doing? This is the final Sunday video update of 2019. We open a new year and a new decade this week. Joining me off camera is my dad.
Hello.
What a week, huh?
Yeah, what a week.
What a week it's been. But before I get to any of that, I'm going to remind all of you for the last time in 2019 to visit GuideStar.org. GuideStar.org has a complete and comprehensive listing of all the 501c3 nonprofit organizations and LLCs approved by the federal government of the United States. Don't be fooled. Don't be duped. Visit GuideStar.org today. So, Christmas. Our Christmas was great.
Yeah.
Christmas, we had a great time up at my cousin's house up at Heidi and Elwood's. The kids were happy to see us. They were happy to have us there with them, to join them. We had a great big dinner. We had drinks, hors d'oeuvres. It was nice. And it was just a wonderful time. Had a nice Christmas tree decorated. Kids got a lot of toys. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun. It was great to see everybody, and the weather was mild. We didn't have a white Christmas this year. In fact, it's raining today. We're getting a lot of rain and fog, and it's supposed to be around 60 degrees, I think, today, or 55 or something like that. But yeah, Christmas was great. Then after Christmas, Dad had some upper teeth pulled, and he's been doing okay. He's been doing fairly well. Yeah, he had stitches, but he's doing okay.
I'm eating.
Yeah, he's eating. And then the week kind of got a little rocky after that. Some personal business went down, and so Amy is not joining us this week because she's taking care of some personal business of her own, trying to sort out some things. So she's not with us this week. But I will state for the record that I don't care who you are, family, friends, whatever. If you're going to come in here acting a jackass, then don't bother coming in. You know, it's not going to be tolerated. And I'll leave it as that. But yeah, Amy's not joining us this week. I don't care about the football game. I don't care about the football game. I don't watch football. Dad's watching a Packers game. I don't care about sports. I could care less. But it got to be a rocky week. We've been to Owasso. All night long we were in Owasso at the hospital. Then from there we had to go to Saginaw. And when we got home about, 8 o'clock this morning? And we slept, or at least I slept throughout majority of the day. It's Sunday. I mean, there's nothing else to do. So I slept in and caught up on some sleep, and I told my dad on the way home from Saginaw, I said, well, maybe I should just wait until I get home, until I get some sleep, and then do the Sunday video update. So that's why the video's coming to you so late in the evening. Yeah, it's been a long, stressful, rocky week, but Christmas was probably the highlight of the week, and in a couple weeks prior to that, you've heard me complain about how much I hate Christmas and how I despise the holiday. The holiday itself, yes. But when you're with family and people who want you around and they love and care about you, that's what makes the difference. And it was really nice. We had nice turnout.
And we want to say a big congratulations to our friend.
Yeah, our friend Kelly had her baby this morning. Her name is Lily, I believe. So, congratulations, Kelly. We love you. And Lily, welcome to the world.
Beautiful little girl.
Yeah, she's beautiful. Welcome to the world, and fasten your seatbelt, darling, because it's a rocky one here on planet Earth. But Kelly, we love you. We congratulate you. So, yeah, that's another highlight. Things get better. There are some highlights to the days that we lived through, but the week in general was long and arduous and stressful, and but it seems like every day is long and arduous and stressful. But yeah, it's just Dad and I this week in the Sunday video update. I'm gonna try to not take up so much time because it's late in the evening, and I want to get this uploaded to YouTube and get the messages out. I got to talk to, I had a wonderful surprise. What was it? On Friday? It was last week. I got a dual call on my cell phone, and it was my ex-sister-in-law. And it's like, dual call. She never video chats with me. And I swiped up, and it was my great niece on the other end. And she was looking at me, and it's like, oh my gosh. It was my niece, Skylin. It's like, oh my gosh, you know. And she was looking right at me, and she was trying to rub my bald head through the screen, and she was trying to touch my nose. She was being silly. But I talked to her, and she cooed at me, and I was talking to her mom and her grandma, Jill, of course, and it was it was a great little chat. We must have talked for maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. I never made it to my mom's because now I'm without a van. The flywheel, I mentioned I mentioned this last week. The flywheel on my van had broken, so I can't drive my van anywhere. But I did get to talk to Mom over the phone, and we talked for a few minutes. I think we talked on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. I don't remember right off what day. It was last week, though. So much has been going on. I should have wrote this down, but a lot had gone on last week, and so at least I did get to talk to Mom for a few minutes. What else is there? We had some really sad news from Montcalm County, which is 2 counties to the west of me. A 5-year-old autistic child had died. He was found in a pond I think it was on Christmas Day. And it's really a shame that, and it made national headlines. So I just wanted, I don't know if I never know who watches my channel. Well, I'm not going to get into that, but I never know who watches my channel, so I'm just going to use this opportunity to send my love and condolences to the little boy's family. It's really a sad situation when things like this happen, and I don't want to get into... Oh, that was my cell phone. I don't want to get into semantics about where were the parents and this, that, and the other. I just want to bring that out into the light and offer my love and condolences to the family of that little boy, because that's really a tragic thing to have happen. And I just send my love and heartfelt condolences, because that's tough. There was a gentleman also from Michigan here. His name was Kevin Bacon, not the actor. He had gone missing, and he was found murdered in the next county over, in Shiawassee County. And I guess he's... and I don't know who the famous person, Jeffrey... You guys have probably heard about this. I think he's into cosmetics. His name is Jeffrey something. It escapes me, but he donated, I think it was $20,000 to the family of that victim for his burial and funeral expenses and things like that. So, that's another tragedy out of Michigan, that we have things like this happening. And the person, a suspect, has been taken into custody for open murder, and I hope he is punished to the maximum extent of the law, and I hope he never gets out. And I know that might be a harsh thing to say, but it doesn't, it pales in comparison to what the family is going through now, not having a member of their family. He was someone's brother, someone's son, someone's nephew, someone's grandson. Gone. Why? Because he was homosexual? I mean, that's baloney. That's horseshit. So, I hope the person who murdered him never gets out. I hope he never gets out.
Hope he gets what he gets.
There was something else I was going to get to, but we've overall, generally, we've been doing okay this way. It's been a long week, like I said, and so much has been going on. I guess I'll get to my point now. And Dad and I, we've had this discussion as well. So here's my little rant. So prepare yourselves. If you don't like potential F-bombs, then I suggest you plug your ears and remove your children. Take your children out of the room, because I might get a little deep in thought here. So it is no mystery, it's no secret that I'm a childhood cancer survivor. I talk about this adamantly. I've talked about this for any number of years throughout, my Sunday video updates, or when I was on social media or elsewhere. I mean, in every which way, people know that I'm a childhood cancer survivor. I have personal rudimentary information and understanding about what that fight is. And I don't care how famous a person is. I don't care how much money they have. They can never, and I'm talking about people who are indirectly affected, of course, and they've got lots of money, and they cling on to the coattails of actual famous people. I don't care how awesome you think you are. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how cool you think you are. You will never get me to succumb to a dollar amount. You can never pay me off. I don't care how much money you have. You will never know what I know on a personal level. You will never feel what I feel on a personal level. You will never know what any other family feels on a personal level. And I don't care, like I said, I don't care how much money you have. Whoa. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how famous you think you are, how cool you think you are. Every friendship that you've had to buy your friendships. And I was having this discussion with a friend of mine who shall remain nameless. I was talking to them in Messenger, and this person had sent my friend money, and she, it's a person of a parent of a childhood cancer survivor. She accepted money from this person. And, well, who's going to turn down money? Well, someone with self-respect and dignity, and someone who can't be bought off. Those of us who understand what real friendship is. I don't care how, if they gave me, I don't care if they gave me $500, $1,000, $2,000, or $5,000. For what other reason would this person be so interested in childhood cancer awareness or helping people with medically complex children, other than to make himself remain popular and famous and cool because he can wear his hat backwards, a 30-something who dresses like an 11-year-old and wears sunglasses, and big, hairy deal. I'm going to tell you something. I know lots of famous people myself. I've been acquainted with lots of people whose children are in television commercials and television series and movies. I have daily discussions with those people. That doesn't make me a celebrity. And I'll tell you something else. Those people who are actually out there doing things, like whether it be movies or television commercials or music, because I have friends in the music industry, and Dad knows this because we've had discussions with those people over the phone. We don't think any differently of ourselves. We don't think we're so cool because we have those connections and we've had those talks. Because at the end of the day, they are still people. And they are just out there doing things, earning their way through life. They don't think they're better than everybody else. They don't have this idea of how awesome and wonderful they are, and they're above and beyond everybody else, and they're so sanctimonious in what they do that they can't be touched because they're just that good. Well, guess what? I don't grovel at people's feet. I don't care how much money they have. I'm not going to worship the ground they walk on. I'm not going to kiss their feet. And I sure as hell, I'm not going to allow myself to be a sycophant to somebody's ego. I talk about this all the time. Vehemently, I talk about this. And until people understand this, I will continue to talk about it. And a matter of fact, someone just ring me in on Messenger. I don't care how much money a person has. I don't care how cool or how famous they think they are. You cannot win me over. That's not going to change who I am, because I have something that those people will never have. Personal understanding. And you can't buy personal understanding. You can't buy experience. And I'm not here to trash on my friend and tell her that she's wrong for accepting money from this person. But what I'm saying is, when this person proposed this question, well, who turns down money? And in response to that, I'm saying anybody with enough dignity to know what their worth is, and someone who understands when you see the flags, when you see the signs that someone is using children, preying on people's vulnerability to make himself remain cool and hip and important and special. The childhood cancer world is littered. It is peppered with people like this, which is why I always tell people, people ask me to donate to nonprofit organizations. The answer is no. I remain detached and unaffiliated with bogus ass shit, especially when the people behind those nonprofit organizations are snide and arrogant and egotistical. That makes me not want to donate to their cause. And if I want to help a family, I will help them directly. I'm not going to go through a nonprofit organization to help somebody. I will directly give them the money. Oh, and by the way, I'll point this out too. This is also worth mentioning. Again, the money that's donated to nonprofit organizations, listen up, CEOs, it's not your money. It's not your money. It is your nonprofit organization's money. That's money that the people have donated to your organization. Your nonprofit organization is not your back pocket. And you don't get to go around pretending that it is. This is why I stay detached from that. It is a circus. Everybody's in constant competitive mode with each other, and I want nothing to do with that. No one will ever understand where I'm coming from, and that's kind of, it kind of reminds me of a previous issue I had with another jackass years ago, which I don't speak of anymore, and not much is said about him anymore because we kind of moved on from him, and we know who and what he is and what he's about, so that's why I don't mention him anymore. But there's always going to be someone out there preying on the vulnerability of people, and they know this. Those kinds of people I call vanity vultures because they know that people are in desperate need of something, and they use money like a carrot and stick, and they dangle it over these people's faces. Look what I have. But in order for you to get this, you got to make me look good. You have to make me look presentable. You have to make me look like some kind of a god. It is appalling. It's disgusting. And it's one of the reasons why when people invite me to their so-called fundraisers for certain nonprofit organizations, I veer away. I want no part of that. I'm not supporting that kind of behavior. If you're going to help somebody, you help somebody. You don't go around touting about how much money you're generating and how much money you've given to people. Wow. Wow, that's all I have to say. So the only way you can maintain friendships is by buying your friends? You can't buy love and affection, I'm sorry. You just can't. Not with anybody who's genuine. You can't buy that from anybody. And that kind of shit just irritates me to no end. And to know that my friends are being bought off by someone who has no money, or he has all this money, and I know he's waving it around on social media. He's waving around dollar amounts. Oh, we've helped such and such families, and he's got dollar amounts, and he's doing all of this stuff. When in actual fact, every friendship he's ever maintained on social media, he's had to buy. He's had to purchase his friendships. And it's not just this particular person. There's plenty more out there. I am not that kind of a person. You can't buy my love and friendship. And if you think that your friendship has a dollar amount, then I don't want to be friends with you. Then I'll happily cut ties with you. You know, because I reach out to people who I can have a personal understanding and relationship with. And like I said, again, I'm not trashing my friend. I'm not trashing my friend at all. And perhaps maybe I could have been a little more private in response to her inquiry about who turns down money. And yeah, that's true. I could have been. But I want to state for the record that at the end of the day, you have to face your own integrity and dignity. And you have to decide for yourself what's more important. Friendships that, you know, people can pay me off, they can buy me off? Or do I want the kind of friendship where there's a personal, mutual understanding about what we've been through together, collectively? What's more important? That's what you have to ask yourself. And I've gone over this, obviously. I've had to ask myself this question over and over again previously and prior to this, because I got to know what's more important. And I'm not going to buy my friendships, and I don't expect anybody to pay me off. You can't buy my love and friendship. If I talk to you and if I care about you, you've already got that. And to the people who've walked away and they've cut ties with me, go fuck yourself. And that's how I'll end that. So that felt good. I don't know. So I actually do know what's coming up this week. It's New Year's Eve, so I'll probably be here celebrating. I don't know if I'm going to be drinking beer or I'll probably just watch the ball drop and go to bed. But that's it. Tomorrow we got to go pay bills for the month of January. It's amazing that we're coming into 2020. And people have been joking with me about the whole 2020 thing. Well, Barbara Walters should be in New York City on New Year's Eve, and my name is Barbara Walters, and this is 2020. That's been kind of the joke. I've been getting it in Messenger, and it's funny. It's silly, but it really boggles me that there are people that they let money cloud their judgment. And this is something else I find ironic too, is that, for the longest time it was always thrown in my face, well, Jared is a single guy, he's not married, he doesn't have a girlfriend, he doesn't have kids, so that kind of gives us red flags. Well, this particular individual that I'm speaking of is also not married and doesn't have children, but yet he's got a lot of moolah, so that makes everything okay. Don't you think if I had I'll frame it this way. If I had millions of dollars, I would never have another hater ever again. I can almost guarantee that. Because I know what money does to people, and when you get on social media elsewhere and say, hey, I'm giving away all this free money to a bunch of families, I think I could get a lot of people to grovel at my feet, and I can get them to kiss my ass for a little while. Because they know what I've got and they know what I have to offer. That's not what I look for. Because anybody who's really and truly unethical does a thing like that. And they know nothing of our personal struggles, but yet they can bribe people and win people over with money. That's the kind of shit that disgusts me. I'm not rich by any means necessary. I'm not rich at all. But I do have a wealth of knowledge when it relates to childhood cancer. And I'm not trying to win anybody over. This is who I am. Naturally, generally, specifically, this is who I am. People love me for who I am. They walk away. Okay, I've learned to accept that. In fact, I had an issue last week with someone who got all bitchy and snarky with me because I texted them and said Merry Christmas, and they said, well, I'm busy, family's coming in, I'm not a big texter. Well, to that one person, if you're not a big texter, then why the fuck did you give me your cell phone number to begin with? I'm not a big texter either, as a matter of fact. I don't text people every single day, and I don't receive texts every single day. But when someone does text me, I don't give them attitude. I'm not giving them grief, and I'm sure as hell not snarky. And when they said, well, we're not big texters, I responded, not a big texter. I find that to be a bit preposterous. If you're not a big texter, then why did you give me your number? Well, she blocked me on Messenger. I could give a fuck less. Because she's got her head up somebody else's ass anyway, the guy with the moolah. Naturally. So, you can have them. I don't care. But you're worshiping someone who has no personal knowledge of those of us in the childhood cancer world other than what you tell him. He has never had to sit through rounds of radiation or chemo. He doesn't have kids. He doesn't have to watch his own children go through this, and I hope he never does. But I'll be damned if I'm going to not say something about it. Oh, Jared, you're just being cynical. You always got to find fault in everybody. No, I don't. I don't find fault in everybody. My dad will tell you that. I don't find fault in anybody. It's the people who memorialize themselves on social media. They are the ones who make themselves look ridiculous. And it gets back to me. They're the ones who are doing it to themselves. And I'm just the commentator who says, wow, what a fucking jackass he is for making himself look foolish, and he's making my friends look ridiculous by treating them like they're puppets. Like my friends are controlled because he's got the almighty buck dangling over him. I love my friends dearly, and I'm not trying to sound negative, and again, for the fourth time, I'm not trashing on my friend, and I'm not trying to sound like, she did something wrong. She didn't do anything wrong. She has bills like everybody else, and I get that. But at some point you have to see this. You may not admit that I'm right, because admitting that Jared Fuller is right is, to most people, a crime against nature. I don't know why. But it is. You don't have to like me, and that's fine. It's not about liking me. It's about being honest with yourself. And that can be difficult. I don't care if somebody offered me $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. They're not going to buy me off. There's no amount of money in the world that could ever get me to change my mind about people that have been through similar situations as myself, people that I have come to know and love with all my heart. There's no amount of money in the world that could ever get me to change my mind. And to my friend, I wasn't trying to, sound condescending, but at some point, I just hope you realize that, our friendship has no dollar amount. It's priceless. And that goes for anybody else out there who is impressed with money by all these people, the nonprofit organizations, CEOs of nonprofit, they got all this money and, oh, they're so great, oh, great one. That's fucking hideous. And I'm sick of hearing about what such and such is doing and how much money they've generated. I don't care. Money comes and goes. You can replace money. You can't replace people. Anything to add to that?
No, that's it up there. That's pretty much it.
And there was something else I wanted to hit on real quick, and I'll probably wrap this up. My ex-girlfriend Ruth is not doing well. She has an infection all throughout her body, and she's on a ventilator in a medically induced coma. She's in the ICU at University of Wisconsin Hospital in Madison. She is a Wilms tumor survivor, like myself. She is 36 years old. She's been a Wilms tumor childhood cancer survivor since 1987. And just because she's not my girlfriend anymore, it doesn't mean that I don't think about her. Doesn't mean I still don't love her. Doesn't mean that I still don't have a special place in my heart for her. And that's another thing that's had me stressed this week, because, I find things out. Eventually it all comes back to me. And if you could, just please keep her in your thoughts. And I don't know if Ruth watches my videos. I imagine now she wouldn't, because, she's in ICU. She's not going to see this video. She's not going to hear anything I have to say. But
If anyone hears it, let her know.
Anybody who's close to her, anybody who is watching this, and if you are in the room with her, or if you have direct connection with her, just please tell her that I love her and I care about her, and I hope I hope she pulls through this. Because I was told that her hands and her feet turned purple. And that scares me, needless to say. So please just keep Ruth in your thoughts, and send her some love and show her that she is important, and keep the family in your thoughts. This is with her, because, it affects different people differently. And Ruth has had a plethora of health issues after chemo from Wilms tumor. This is one of them. She's got, I think her sister said something about sepsis. And this is one of the problems that she's facing, and I just hope she gets better. I'm kind of speechless, and I'm trying not to get emotional, but I still love her, and I still care about her a great deal, and I just want her to get better, and I want her to pull through this. And I love you, Ruth.
Yeah.
So, okay, so, I other than we're paying bills tomorrow, New Year's Eve is Wednesday, is it? Yeah. No, Tuesday. Wednesday is the 1st. Tuesday's New Year's Eve. Because today's the 29th, tomorrow, Monday, the 30th. So it's Tuesday is New Year's Eve. There was something else I wanted to talk about. I know there is, and it was just in my head, and now I can't remember what it was. This time change has really got me screwed up. Let's see how long I've been here. For about 35 minutes. Hopefully it won't take too long to upload, and I'll check my message real quick and see who... I don't know what this is. I keep getting messages for... it's got to be spam. That's all I can think. Oh, yeah, there was something else I wanted to discuss. A kid I went to school with had passed away on Friday, the 27th. He was only 30 years old. I don't know what the cause of death was, but I went to school with him, and we rode the bus together, And it's like, wow, another classmate gone. He used to live just right around the corner from me over here on Gary Road. And the last I knew, he moved to Saginaw, and then he passed away on Friday. I don't know what the cause of death was. I don't know if an autopsy was performed. But I'm sure if an autopsy is performed, we're going to find out what the results of the autopsy were, what the cause of death was. And so, again, I offer my love and condolences to his family. And it's really a shocker. It hits you. You know, it's like right in the chest. It just hits you. And, you know, things like these are completely and totally unexpected. You can't predict it. And, wow, I'm sorry for your loss. And another one of my classmates gone, and at such a young age. 30 years old. It's a shame. But if there's anything you wanted to talk about, Dad? It's been a crazy, hectic week, and I've been under a lot of stress again, and so much has been going on. Dad, he's over there on his phone, looking at something. He was watching the Packers game. But, you know, there's been so much happening this week, and I've just been out of sorts about a lot of things, and I don't want to start a new year or a new decade off on the wrong foot. I'm trying to remain positive and optimistic, and I just want to have a good start to the new year, and hopefully things will be better next year. But, you know, I could say this every year, and if I publicly announce like I just did, I hope that things are better next year. It seems like things tend to go bad. I don't know. I hope we all have a better year, and that's all I have to say about that. I've been here for about 35 minutes. I guess I'll just wrap it up because it's just Dad and I. Like I said, Amy, she's away from home right now. She's taking care of some personal matters. I'm not going to delve into that. But just know that she is okay, and she's just working out some issues. It got a little hairy. It got a little intense around here. But it's quiet now. Everything is back to normal, kind of, sort of, semi-back to normal. When Amy comes home, then it'll be back to normal. But she's got to focus on her right now. She's got to work on her personal stuff. Dad and I, we're home. We're going to hold down the fort. You know, everything's going to be okay. Just take it one day at a time, and, you know, we'll go from there. So, unless Dad has anything to add, I'm going to wrap this up.
No, I'm good.
So, this is a short and sweet last Sunday video update of the year 2019. My name is Jared Fuller, and I wanted to say thank you to all of you for watching all of my Sunday video updates throughout the years. Your support, whether it's negative or positive, I mean, it's support nonetheless. Some of you have shown your true colors of who and really what you are, and most of you, you know, in good and bad ways. A lot of people have been positive towards me. A lot of people have been negative. And those who are positive are the ones who are worthy of my time and my love, and those who are negative are just negative. And if they got a problem with me, that's their problem. And I'm not responsible for their assumptions. I'm not responsible for their anger or their hatred towards me and the gossip that they like to spew forth at everybody else, people who already can't think for themselves and they don't know how to research and investigate anything. You know, you're like 2 peas in a pod, or should I say 2 peas in a rotted pod. And if you got hatred towards me, that is your problem. And that's not just for today or yesterday, but for tomorrow and for years to come. Because I have my life to live. I have to do what I have to do to survive and to help people and to make a positive difference in this world. I'm not doing it for the kudos. I'm not doing it for the pat on the shoulder like everybody else. I remain independent and unaffiliated with bogus bullshit, and I do what I think I have to do by all means necessary, and at the end of the day, I'm still a childhood cancer survivor. And I understand what's going on. And to all you snarky ass bitches out there who have ever shrugged me off or stuck your nose up at me this year or previously, go fuck yourself. Happy New Year. See you in 2020, guys. Take care.